What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And oh boy, here we go. We're taking a look at the Bitcoin price chart. We're also going to take a look at the total market cap and the total altcoin market cap. We'll peek over there at the Ripple XRP price chart. We have massive sell-offs everywhere. And right now, Bitcoin is holding a price level or at a price level that is quite critical in determining what is happening with this market. If you're long in this market, I'm right there with you. I'm feeling all the same pains that everybody else is going through. If you're long on the market, this moment reminds me a lot of what it was like when XRP was selling off back in December and in January when we had the SEC lawsuit and then Coinbase delisted XRP and how far down those prices fell. And if you look at a lot of these charts out there, a lot of them have very similar setups of what has happened in that same thing, or not really setups, but really they've already kind of played out in that way. But right now, a lot of things are kind of riding on this for me right now with where the price of Bitcoin is, where the total market cap is. And I'll show you the things that I'm looking at over here. First things first, we don't look at moving averages too often on here, but Bitcoin today has reached back to its 50-week moving average. As you can see, it's actually below the 50-week moving average, but we're near the beginning of the week. We're only 2 days into the week at this point. There's still 5 days remaining to see where that candle is going to close. But as you can see, in no circumstances in the previous bull run did we ever break below the 50-week moving average, let alone have a candle close below it. Again, I don't use moving averages too often because you have to be real lenient with them. It's very easy to use them in hindsight, but using them in practice can prove to be a little bit more difficult. As we've talked about, this has been the price level that I really want to see hold for Bitcoin to show that we can continue moving higher. We're right on it. If we look at the total market cap of crypto, we can see that it's within the bull flag on top of the double tap up in here. So we are literally within the bull flag right now, second test within here. Same thing goes for the total altcoin market cap right in there at this time. XRP has gone unbelievably low. It's gone lower than what the 3-year resistance was that we broke through, now closing daily candles below that price level there at about 75 to 80 cents and having the biggest correction we've ever seen happen within a bull market. We could see that there's never been a correction that has gone down this deep at this point. So to say max fear or extreme fear is something that's going on in this market is an understatement. We're all the way at a 10, and that's reflecting last night. So we'll get another update here in 10 hours. I would suspect this is more at like a 7 or a 6 right now. And you can see even at a 10, it's at the most fear that we have seen in this market all year long. In the bull run of 2017, in June and July, we actually saw a 57% crash take place over here in the altcoin market while we were working our way up. Right now, we're currently sitting at a 58% crash. So we have seen this before in a bull run, but during that time period back then, I remember it really clearly. It was really painful at that time. There's no question this one is equally as painful. Even after that 57% crash in 2017, it had another nearly 50% crash shortly thereafter. In 2016, when the altcoin market cap broke out from its all-time high, its initial pullback during that time was 53.85%, with an initial crash coming all the way down, hovering in here for a while, then coming back to wash people out again a second time. And so, as we're in this highly anticipated moment, and while emotions are running incredibly high, these are the types of moments where I've just learned over the years of experience that this is what it's always like when things are coming in for some type of bottom. There's never a bottom coming in where all the retail investors are happy with each other and there isn't a bunch of fighting. It's always like this. If you've gone on Twitter at all and you've seen it at all, it's just so much fighting. That's normal, right? If I was new to this, I'd be like, oh my gosh, everything is falling apart. These people can't stay together. Everybody's fighting with each other. But that's precisely what happens at these bottoms whenever they come in. All the pain, all the frustration, all the everything, everybody's lashing out at everybody. Comments are terrible. Tweets are terrible. Everything is terrible. The sky is falling. And it happens every single time. And that's why I always talk about like keeping an emotional log, because I've been able to like track what are things like in the world when those bottoms end up coming in. And they don't come in with everybody being happy and joyous and holding hands and singing songs to each other. They come in when everybody's mad, angry, commenting terrible things, fighting with each other, and people saying, I give up. This thing's over. We're in a bear market. That's how all the bottoms have come in. And hey, look at that. Bitcoin's at 30,700. A nice little pop up. Hopefully we can keep that going. Looks like the total altcoin market cap's at 644 now. Can't get too optimistic. We have a lot more work to do, but hey, a little bit of a bounce coming. But that's what things have always been like. And on my channel, I always talk about I don't buy green candles. I only buy the red ones. I only buy the extreme fear when things are at their absolute worst. And it's because it's all a mathematics game, right? It's the distance between the purchase price and the sale price. And everything in between is the percent, and it's only the percent that matters. And history has always proven every single time that the best opportunity to get the biggest percent was always by buying when things were at their absolute worst. If you would have bought on March 12th and March 13th during C19 when lockdowns were coming and everything crazy was going and the sky was falling and everybody thought we were doomed, was that the best time to buy? Yes, it was. Right in the middle of that when everything was horrid. And that's how things typically always work out. The bottoms are not marked by people holding hands and everybody saying, yay, we're all buying the bottom. It's marked by people selling it and people being terrified and people being angry and people fighting and people being scared. And people really hunt out that validation to help them with the way that they are feeling, whether there's someone out there calling and screaming that we're going into the Great Depression or it's a great reset, we're all falling apart. People will hunt that because they've probably made some type of emotional decision and need some validation for that at the same time. So if you're looking for someone to come on here on this blockchain backer channel and scream that the sky is falling, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to. I mean, if the total altcoin market cap like lost its all-time high, maybe, but not here. No way. So my hopes are that we just had our big washout moment happen. Look at that, Bitcoin getting real close to 31,000 now. And so long as Bitcoin can continue to hold this level and the total market cap of all of crypto can continue to hold that level and the altcoin market continuing to hold that level, I think we're just having a washout of all the people who can't be here. This market is not meant for everybody. This is the most volatile market in the world. And if I had to take a shot on anything over and over again, I would take the shot 100 out of 100 times on a chart that is broken out into an all-time high, confirmed the all-time high, and then back tested that confirmation like we're seeing happening here in the total altcoin market cap. 100 out of 100 times I'd be taking the shot and never second guessing it ever. It would be something I would go for every single time. And that's me. So long as we're still holding in here, you better believe it, still bullish, still optimistic on this market, even in a time of extreme pain, extreme fear, tons of infighting, tons of trolls, tons of pessimism. I look to the big picture, and the big picture is optimistic. 58% correction here in the total altcoin market cap, pulling back into the bull flag of the double tap back test on top of the all-time high. You saw it in 2017, 3 separate times of 50% corrections in the altcoin market, 50, 54, and 57%. This market has taken a hit. It's taken a blow, but it's not down for the count just yet. And I fully believe it's going to get back up and start swinging. And hey, Bitcoin's already back above $31,000, and maybe those swings have already started coming. And I know in a lot of times it's hard to see that even with Bitcoin back above 31,000 again, it's still like, yeah, whatever, this time maybe. Yeah, I know. But it's, I think back to, why this channel has grown so much, right? And it's about getting through these types of moments. We get through these things. We have to tough them out. They're so terrible and so horrid. And then we get to it where it just looks so bleak. It looks so horrible that it doesn't look like we're ever going to get through a moment like this. And we stay strong through it. I stay strong through it and keep pushing forward. And then eventually we get out of these types of moments. It's happened over and over and over again. And I think that contributes a lot to this growth of this channel is just kind of trusting that process of getting through it because we are so engraved in our DNA that when things are bad to take action on whatever those emotions are. And I have always learned to do the absolute opposite of whatever my emotions are. If my emotions are really greedy and excited, I know very well not to be pushing that buy button during that time at all. And I know I should be hitting that sell button, but absolutely not hitting that buy button when things are exciting and green. But when things are red and scary, I know that's the time I should be hitting the buy button. And it's hard for us to process that because we live through these narratives, we live through these time periods where everybody's screaming the sky is falling. And then we somehow come out of it. We somehow come out of it the other side, and we come out and new highs get set and things get exciting all over again. And I believe we are in one of those moments. And I do expect new highs to come in this market, even though it's so hard to see that right now. But there we go. Bitcoin's only $67 away from being green for the day, and the total altcoin market cap's back up to 660. So fingers crossed, maybe that was our big moment. And there you have it. Bitcoin is green for the day. But all right, guys, I'll start wrapping this one up. I'll keep it relatively brief. You guys know what I'm looking at over there in the total market cap and total altcoin market cap and with Bitcoin. I know that these times are really tough. These are these times where people go through a huge growing experience. The people who make it to the other side. A lot of people don't make it through this. They end up having to capitulate on whatever their feelings are at the time. But some people do make it through all the way to the other side, and it's this massive growing experience that happens. This point of reflection and just like, holy cow, I can't believe that. The world is so different from what I perceived. And then you kind of look back on it and you say, oh, wait a minute, I kind of understand why he was the way he was when he was. Because while the thing that would really appease everybody's feelings right now would be to provide validation to how you're feeling, right? Oh, I'm feeling fearful. Okay, let's talk about fear. Or I'm really optimistic. Let's talk about optimistic stuff. But it's doing the opposite of what they are at that time. And right now, it's very fearful out there. It's a huge growing experience out there. It's trying to get through something like this. And we've been through many of these on this channel, and we will get through this one as well. So, all right, guys, that's it. I'm optimistic. I'm still looking for the same stuff. Nothing has broken down out there. I'm still looking for new highs to come in for this market. And I think this is like that final washout that we're having. So I'll wrap it up. If you guys would like, of course, you could check out my website, bcbacker.com. This is my course where I deep dive into the previous Bitcoin bull runs, the different altcoin market cycles, tying them all together, showing what those previous Bitcoin bull runs have looked like. I talk about mathematics and percentages like we were talking about today. And then I also talk about my personal exit plans. And well, you can check all of this out over here on bcbacker.com. I also do teach you how to set up your own charts and indicators within TradingView in there. So if you're looking to do your own charting, I teach you how to set up stuff in TradingView and how to do it in CoinTrader Pro. You could follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. You better believe I will be here if anything crazy is happening today. And otherwise, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.